Hello and welcome to my retro watches. Well, I'm back with another review of a Baltany watch. The last one on this channel proved very popular, and coupled with other reviews that I've done on the review channel, Baltany have given me exclusive access to review this watch for you, along with only two other channels that are a lot bigger than mine. And I actually feel quite honoured that a brand would value my opinion in amongst those particular people. So yes, Baltany, they are a brand that make sort of military inspired homage watches of yesteryear. So the one I did before was the 1926 Oyster homage. That watch obviously has not been around for nearly 100 years, and I kind of like that idea that you're bringing back those sort of classics at a value price that you can buy and enjoy, so you can have a vintage feel for not the vintage worry of ownership. Now this watch is based on the VC 1920. It's pretty iconic in itself, the way the dial is offset like it is. However, VC have now sort of made their own tribute to this watch, and as a result now we've got Baltany making a homage watch of a watch that's now back in circulation, which doesn't fit with me so well, but I think because it's vintage I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And before I get going, this is basically sponsored by Baltany. There's no money changing hands here. They have sent me the watch for free. I do get to keep it. However, the review that I'm going to give you will only be honest, because that's all I can say. But that's just for complete transparency. Now I'm going to start straight off and hit you with the price. This one is $295 on their official website. There are a few discounts that you can get. Now, is this a high price for a watch like this? Well, you don't know the specs and specifications yet, and of course I'm going to save my thoughts until the end. But what I will say at this point though is, despite they've made this version, they've actually made another version with a second dial on it, and that's got a seagull movement in it, and it's almost half the price of this. I think it's $169. So you can still get the same look with that extra subdial for a lot less money. Now this is a really interesting design concept, to have the dial off center like that, and I'm sure it's going to split decisions with people. Some people are going to like it, some people are not going to like it. Some people might like it but they don't like a square case. I mean, it can go on and on. The actual real reason, or the original reason for this being off center, was this was a driver's watch. So back in the 1920s you could be driving your car and you would be able to read your watch without having to move your wrists. And roll on 100 years and we're now all completely hands-free in cars. We're not supposed to be touching buttons. Here in England we can't touch our phones and stuff like that. So it actually now has a new purpose again, because potentially you can drive your car and read the time on your watch without taking the hands off the steering wheel. So that's a really good thing. To me, this watch has a very elegant and dressy feel to it. The dial is nice and simple. I really do like the font that they've used there, and those indices are actually highly polished, and we'll get closer on the dial in a moment when we go over to the microscope. The hands look very delicate, almost like something from a pocket watch. They are in the style of the spade hands. The second hand as well I like. It's been blued, and I like the arrow heel on the end of that. The case, so it's a cushion case. You can see it's highly polished. Now this is quite interesting. The material is stainless steel, and stainless steel is normally 200 Vickers in hardness. What Baltany have done here is harden the case up to 500 Vickers, and that will actually make it more scratch resistant. And that's the first time I've seen that on a watch that I've reviewed, certainly at this price point as well. So 10 out of 10 for effort there, because this watch is highly polished all over, and you would be worrying constantly, or I would be at least, that you'd be scratching that here and there. So to harden it up like that, I think is a great step. One of the big design points of this watch, of course, is where that crown is. So the crown is what, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock position. I think that's absolutely great. I mean, okay, this is just homaging, if you like, the original, but it's the only place you could probably really put it but it's cool because it's a great place to be able to wind your watch. This one is not screwed down, so you can wind it to your heart's content. It's not signed either. It fits very well with the overall sort of minimal design of this watch. As I said before, the case is highly polished. Now it's polished all over. You will not find anywhere a brushed surface at all, but the quality of the polishing is great. Now that also could be down to the hardness of the material as well. I really do like those drop down lugs on the side, and they look like they've got rivets on the end of them, but I can assure you really it's just a spring bar for the strap, but it just adds to the overall aesthetic. Let's turn the watch over, and what a great case back. Okay, it's a display back. That's actually sapphire crystal you see there. That is the Miyota 9039 movement. A little bit more on that one later on. Look carefully though, you can see that that case back is actually screwed down. There are 8 screws in total, of which all of them I will remove to have a look closer in just a moment. We can also see around the case back there we've got water resistant, it's 50 meters, Baltany stainless steel, sapphire crystal. I like a little bit of writing on the back, and that is great to see here on this Baltany. The watch only comes on this brown leather strap. It's signed on the back and signed on the buckle too. I actually quite like the strap. It's very malleable, it's quite a soft leather, and it does feel good quality. It's better than anything that I've seen on other Baltanys. They usually put the standard strap on, and this one is certainly a step up from what they've put on their old models. Okay, let's size it up. So the case width is 38.1, which is actually 1.5 inches. The thickness is 10.4, although it says 12.4 on their website for some strange reason. Lug to lug, including the strap there, is 45 millimeters, and the lug width is 20 millimeters. So all those measurements add up to a look like this. I have a 7-inch wrist, and that's how the watch looks on mine. It has got AR coating, and that is a sapphire crystal you can see there. It's a bit of a winter's day, so there's a bit of a light dazzle going on, but that is the look you're going for. Now many of you know I'm left-handed, which means I wear my watch on the right, and this is the biggest disappointment because I can't read the watch if I put it on my right arm, and therefore this is the biggest negative to this watch, because it's not going to be good for any of us left-handers out there. However, I'm going to take the dial off in a bit and see if we can remedy that. Now it's time to get the microscope out. I do like to do reviews and take watches close up and personal. So we're looking now at the dial in a little bit more detail, and you can see it's kind of like a sandy textured dial, quite sparkly. The indices are really highly polished, as you can see the reflection there. All very nice. Now we're a lot closer and we get a lot of light reflection, hence the indices all look black now instead of bright and shiny. But you can see that that dial has got a bit of texture. It's metallic really, I guess. It catches the light and plays with it. Now it's a $300 watch, so what are we expecting to see? Well, I want to see good print. We don't want to see any staining, any fingerprints, any particles stuck in those numbers. And quite frankly, I never do on Baltany. They seem to get it right all the time. There we go. We can look at the hands a bit closely. Unfortunately, it isn't great because of the reflection. So can you see anything wrong with that? I certainly can't, and that definitely passes muster for me. So you won't see any other reviewers doing things like this, but this is my retro watches, and I do like to take them apart. So the idea here is to take the hands off and take the dial off and see where the dial feet are, to see if there's a way that we could potentially relocate everything in order to be able to wear this on my right arm. So we're now looking at the back of the dial, and we've got 2 dial feet that you can just see sticking up there. And ironically, if they were in the other 2 positions, or if I could resolder them into the other 2 positions that just look like they've been rubbed or sanded, then I would actually be able to use this on my right arm. But alas, I haven't got the tools required to do that, unfortunately. With the dial off, it gives us a chance to look at the top of the movement. Now it's all very plain and ordinary, nothing exciting, but the good thing is we're not seeing a calendar works or anything like that hidden in the watch. A lot of people like to use the NH35 for a no-date watch and have that ghost position. so at least we don't have that here. Here I've undone the 8 screws. Caseback just comes off like that. I actually like the fact that it's screwed down properly like that. Probably not necessary, but it's cool. You can just see the gasket there to protect the waterproofing on the particular watch. And here we go. This is the Miyota 9039. It's hand wind, automatic, hacking, 24 joules, a 42-hour power reserve, and this one has the higher beat of 28,800 beats per hour, so it gives a nicer smooth tick. So pretty good specs on paper, to be honest, but I know again not everybody seems to like a Miyota. But let's go and test it, put it on the Timegrapher and see how good it really is. Here we are on the Timegrapher. It's all speeded up. Each position's a good 2 minutes long, so we can see here dial up. It's performing very well, in and around between 7 and 10 seconds plus a day. The beat error is superb. I have not tweaked this in the slightest. Dial down, we're getting even more accuracy. So yeah, very, very impressive, to be honest with you. Again, what's it going to do with the... You can't really do pendant up and pendant down because of the way the crown is, but it's still performing great. There's absolutely no loss to that beat error at all. And despite what people say about Miyotas, I think this one is running absolutely superbly, and it will do your timekeeping very well for years to come. I've shown you the ins and the outs of this watch, so what do I actually think of it? Well, for $300 you're not going to find anything that looks quite like this, and if you're looking for something a little bit different for your collection, then this could definitely be a contender. Okay, the design is completely borrowed, but it is an iconic design originally from yesteryear, and yeah, you can't fail to like it for that. Certainly the one it's homaging from will cost you considerably more than this would. So yes, I do like it. The negative, of course, is I can't personally wear this watch at all, which is a grand shame. So perhaps, you know, they may decide to make a left-handed version for us left hookers, but statistically there's not so many of us in the world as there are you right-handed people. But there you go. So yeah, that's Baltany in a nutshell. If you want to see more reviews of Baltany, then head over to my review channel. There is a link below. I've done several reviews over there, and there's also one on this main channel as well of the 1926 Oyster, which is still the Baltany that I think is the best Baltany to buy, full stop. So there we go. If you've liked this video, then of course please give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments below. I will be reading every one with a lot of interest. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I also know that Baltany read the comments too, so you want to give them some feedback. Be nice, or constructive, but certainly leave those comments below. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll be back with more watchmaking videos. I'm actually currently making the Citizen Cosmotron video. That's already in pieces. Just got to try and remember how to put it back together. Thanks very much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.